I love what my friend Janet Atwood says about this. She says, desires are your breadcrumbs. Breadcrumbs on the path to your destiny. And so when I left teaching, all I knew to do was to paint because I'm an artist. There was something that wasn't being expressed in me teaching school. I had been working and going to school straight through for like 18 years. I needed a break. So I moved into my grandpa's RV. I went into debt. And I let myself have 6 months to just put colors on canvas. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I knew I wanted to do something different. I didn't know what my business was. Over the course of those 6 months, I created about a dozen paintings and I started reproducing them. I started having them professionally photographed and printed on canvas, and I started selling them. I started a line of greeting cards, and I caught the attention of my art teacher. My art teacher was like, Sage, like not everybody takes 6 months off of work and starts selling their art a few months later. Like there's something special that you're doing. Will you come and teach my other art students what it is that you're doing? And I was like, sure. And I had more fun, Christy. I had more fun teaching that class on how to turn your art into business. I had more fun doing that than I had ever had doing anything in my life for money. And I thought, that's why I'm here. I'm here to teach creative people how to make money. And that's why I never figured it out in school, because they don't necessarily teach you that that's an option in school, right?
It's out of the box. It's what we should be teaching at school. That's a whole nother conversation.
Right.
But okay, so you stepped into this art class. You know, I'm having so much fun. What's next? What happened?
So I step into the art class to teach these young women how to turn their art into money. And we spend the whole afternoon talking about reproducing art, what to charge, and then the conversation turns into what they feel they are worth. Is this painting worth money if I didn't struggle to create it? Is this painting worth money if it's not an original? If I reproduce copies and then I'm not even giving somebody an original, can I really charge for that? And then the conversation became about a woman's fundamental self-worth. And I realized after a decade of doing women's study classes and women's leadership work that as women, we have a particular relationship to money. You know, it wasn't that long ago that my mom couldn't have her own bank account. When my parents got married, my grandfather gave my mother a copy of her Social Security paperwork, her insurance paperwork, and her bank account statements and said, she's yours now. That happened to my mother, right? We forget that many of us are standing on a legacy of women who didn't feel empowered around money. And I remember leaving that art class thinking to myself, this has to change. I'm angry about this. How is it that women have been so disempowered around money? And so whatever it is that you might feel angry about, rageful about, lit up about, that's for you. There's something there. There's a power in you that's calling you forth.
I want to go back into, you were teaching these artists and it became so evident that you had to help them with their self-worth and then that results into money. So how do we fix this? What do we do?
I help women understand that there's a gift coming through them that is meant to be monetized if they so choose. I help women understand that doing business doesn't have to be something slimy or salesy, that they can step into their worth and raise their rates and charge good money for something that is simply an expression of them. And so I teach women to build businesses and to bring their gifts to the world in a way that aligns with women's values. Values of collaboration rather than competition, values of generosity rather than a sense of like scarcity or urgency, values like empowerment rather than power over. And so many women are trying to do business from a more traditional place, kind of a little bit more like men, that when they learn business from this place of alignment with women's values, they thrive. And instead of like the traditional 80% of businesses failing, it's possible that 80% of our businesses can succeed when we're set up with the right skills and strategies that align with our values.
Is it through mindset first and then certain actions? How do the mindset and the actions, are the actions important? Do you need the mindset first and then the actions and the mindset, or do they work together?
Let me say one more piece about that too.
Yeah.
Because this way of doing business, it's not just for women. It's for women and men, because we all have the feminine inside of us. And that's the opportunity that we have to do business from a place of love, that every act of business can be an act of love, and that we can truly do business in a way that serves and creates generosity and a flourishing planet, rather than materialism and consumption and really like business strategies and business practices that destroy the planet.
That message is something I've heard from a few of you, and to hear it, mostly you're tying, they tied money to love, but to tie business to love is even one step, because business is so masculine. Like to tie it to love is so interesting.
It is. It really is.
So how do we do that? Tell us more about your vision of how that works and why it serves women and men.
So women will hit an upper limit around how much they can bring in. I've worked with tens of thousands of women really intimately around their earning capacity and their self-worth and how much they feel like they can charge. And we'll hit an upper limit when we think it's just about ourselves and our families.
Yes.
When we tie our businesses back to something bigger, a social cause, a global cause, a philanthropic cause, we absolutely can blow through whatever we thought our earning power was. I've seen women who thought they just wanted to make $50,000 a year, making $200,000 a year. I've seen women who thought they wanted to make a couple $100,000 a year, build a $2 million a year business when they start thinking bigger than just their immediate needs. And isn't it interesting that women are the givers? Women are the givers of the planet. A very large percentage of women will give back an incredible amount of money just because they know it's the right thing to do for the planet. And when we hitch our businesses to a cause that's bigger, there's no limit to what we can do.
Thanks so much for being here and watching that video. And can I ask you to please subscribe to our channel so you can find out when we're posting new content. You'll be alerted right away when we do. To share this with people you think might benefit from the information, and certainly it helps us if you like the video. So if you like what you just saw, go ahead and hit that like button. And again, thank you so much for being here with me right now.